Righteousness of God. As my husband was sharing, one of the thoughts that I had when he was sharing is just I think about just how we live in our household as far as like he said, you have your right, you have either the righteousness of the Father or what you think is right. And I think about, I have flashbacks of all the decisions and the things that my husband's making in the home. And, and I'd be like, wow, just earlier we were having a purchase that we were going to be making. And I'm like, when he called me at work, he's like, hey, honey, I found something. I saw this, da-da-da-da, and I'm going to get it. I'm like, now we need to figure out what we're going to do, how we're going to do this, or when you go home, get on the computer. And my mind was like, where's he going? Where's he going with this? Because we got construction going on in the home. We got this going on here. We got that going on there. And I had to relinquish my right and just let my husband be my husband and let him follow the Father on it, because I've had enough chances to see the end result, since we've been married, of just following what the Father is doing. And it's always bigger and more than what I'm thinking it is, because I'm like, we don't need that. But it wasn't about whether we need something or not need something. It was about what the Father is doing in my husband as far as faith building, as far as taking him to another level, another step in him. And I had to sit back and not look at, well, I don't think we need to do that, or why. I had to just go with it, go with what's right in the Father's eyes, and how he's working things through in my husband, because he doesn't tell me what my husband's doing. Unless my husband's open his mouth and say to me, this is what we're doing, I have no clue, until he opens his mouth and say something to me and say, okay, this is the direction we're going. And a lot of times I find myself, why we gotta go that way? Why we can't stay safe? And the Father doesn't want us to stay in this place of safe and self-protecting, because to me that's right. It makes sense to stay in a safe zone. It makes sense to keep building and doing this and doing certain things that seem more quote unquote seemingly structured. But really it's building a comfort zone for whom? Myself. But that's where the Father wants me to come out of, and little by little I have to relinquish what my right is or what I feel is right, and give it to the Father and let him do what he's doing within us as a family, as a unit. And he's starting with my husband, and so as he grows and he continues to increase and go in whatever direction, even though it might seem helter-skelter, it might seem like, okay, why we're over here and over there when we're trying to be here. And it's not about that. It's just about, it's about the Father saying, training him and saying, are you guys going to do what I see fit, or are you going to try and do what you see fit? And every time my husband chooses to do what the Father seems fit. Sometimes we sit there and be like, oh, we want to question it, or we're like, okay, let's sit back and watch what the Father is doing. And every time he never fails to show us in hindsight, see, this is why I took that path. But if he tells it to us so way in advance, would we even do it? I don't know. But it's doing these things in the blind, and that's where it's in our faith. When we can trust the Father in his righteousness, in his rightness, in who he is, we have to do it by just trusting him. It's no other way. You have to relinquish our own holding on to what makes us comfortable and releasing it and saying, okay, Father, I give it to you. Like my husband's opening statement, I want to hear how you hear. I want to see how you see. I want that you that is in me, Father, to help me to see the way you see, hear the way you hear, and speak the way you speak. So here's my husband. And that's really what I got from the righteousness of our Heavenly Father.
Thank you, honey.